Hello everyone. Guess what? We're adding to the Asylum journal. Again, I think it's been about a month since our last one. So I want to add a picture into my journal. And you don't have to add a picture. You can, this process that I'm going to do is actually just for anything, but mine, I'm going to make it a frame for a picture, but it could be used for texture. It could be used for decorating your cover, anything. Because I don't think everybody had a window in their door like I did. Hold on, I'm getting there. Okay. So on my door, I have this little window, right, that peeks into the room behind it. So I want to add a picture here, but I want to add it to the page, into this blank page right here. It's a small one. And the picture I want to use, I took this picture during ICAD. I think it was 2020 or 2021. 2021 probably, yes. And the prompt was pink. And so a lot of you know how I feel about the color pink or anything flowery or butterflies, ribbons, that kind of thing. So I took a picture of myself, and it's this one. And you guys may have seen this in the background on my mat. I had it on one of my old masterboard mats that I have back here, but I still have one left. So it's a couple years old. It's been sitting in my scrap box. So I want to put it behind my window. So I know there's going to be a glare, so it's kind of hard to see, but I want it to be like that. You see it? All right, so that's my goal. Now, those that have followed me on Instagram know that I did this glue gun frame before, and it's really cool looking. And I learned it from another artist named, and I hope I don't say the name wrong, but Brygida Lindner, and I might have mispronounced it, and I'm sorry if I did. She had posted it years ago on a Facebook group, and I never really watched her video. I just saw the frame and I kind of figured out how to do it. But I'm going to look for the video, and if I can find the video, I'm going to post it below so you can see the original video and credit to the artist that I got the idea from. But I used it in Junk Journal January, and I'll insert a picture here. And I also used it in my coffee journal. And again, here's a picture. And I used it as a frame. Now I could do that again here. However, I want to do a little bit more. So I kind of want to blend the picture into the background, adding a black gesso and maybe some stamping or something. I don't want it just a picture frame. And then I want to use that technique with the glue gun to kind of frame it, but then also kind of like go, little pieces away from it, maybe frame the whole page, that kind of thing. I really don't know yet. I just know I want to do that process on this page with this picture. So that's my goal for this Playday. And I hope you guys care to join me. If so, grab your glue guns. And you'll need like a baking paper, something that's a non-stick type surface, because usually you'll make it on there, peel it off, and then glue it to wherever you want to do it. And I'll show you the process. I might, however, just do it directly onto this page, but that's kind of scary because I might mess up. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do, but either way, I'll show you the process of how to do it. Okay, so just hold tight and get my supplies and everything together and give you guys a chance to get your glue gun heated up, and let's start playing. I forgot to tell you guys that you'll also need, I have like buttons, but you need something with designs on them if you'd like, that you can press into the glue while it's still warm, and then you just leave it in there until it cools down, and then it should pop back off no problem. So I just have some buttons I'm going to try. So I have these. I have a whole bunch here. And then you also want like poker tools. So like the ends of a brush, like different sizes or whatever, because you can poke that in and create little holes. Okay. And I just have a whole bunch because you might need, like you can't use the same poker if you only have one poker tool. If you poke here, you have to let it cool down before you can, you know what I mean? So if you have several, even if they're all the same size, you can put a few in, let it cool down, and then remove them. Okay, so grab some poker tools, some decorative buttons if you have them, anything that you can press in and make a design. So look through your stash. And then you need your glue gun, hot glue gun, and also like baking paper, parchment paper, something to work on. All right, okay, be right back. All right, guys, so before I get started on doing the glue gun frame, I need to do something with my background first. So I do know I want to have the picture here. I just kind of want some graphics in the back. I think I'm going to, I have these wooden block stamps that are from an old, I got them at the flea market. They're from an old printing press, or I don't know what they're from, but they're very hard to use because they're very smooth. And so you use paint or whatever, it doesn't quite stick, but because we like the grunge look and I like the not pristine, look, it may work. So I'm thinking of, I'm going to do black gesso. I'm going to glue down my picture, and then I'm going to stamp some words. And I think I'm just going to stamp just to practice with the blocks. And I'm also working on another art piece. I'm going to stamp the title of our journal, Asylum for the Creatively Insane. I think I'm going to stamp those letters on here. So I'll probably do like Asylum for the Creatively Insane. So I got to make it work. Just so I can, one, practice with those blocks, and two, I don't know, just playing around. Because in here, I mean, it doesn't matter. I know I already have the title, and I could just do lettering, like random letters, or maybe even my name or something like that. But I kind of want to see what those letters would look like for another art piece that I'm working on. So why not practice in here and use it in here? So that's my direction. I don't know what direction you guys have decided on. But together we are going to create something pretty cool, right? All right, so my first step, I think, is I'm going to tear around my edges, and then I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to gesso with black, kind of blending it in so it looks like I'm just part of the background. And then I'm going to stamp my letters, and then I'll do the process. So this next part, I'll just do just the process, speed it up, maybe, that kind of thing. And then when we get to the frame with the glue gun, I'll talk again, or I'll do real time on that. Okay, so for now, process video, music, whatever, the routine, and then I'll be right back with the glue gun. All right, you guys. So I actually like the way this turned out, to where I feel like I don't need a frame, which I don't, but I'm still gonna do the process. But instead of making a full frame or adding too much, I am gonna add maybe some strips here and there. So mine is gonna be just some strips of glue painted and then glued onto here, using the same process. So yeah, that turned out pretty cool, huh? So what I had already done, is I already kind of played around with it, but I did some samples, and I'm still gonna do the process, so don't worry. But I just wanted to cut through the chase and eliminate some unnecessary video. But I did some on parchment paper, on deli paper, on wax paper, and then these, I don't remember which is which, but it was on a piece of glass and on a piece of clear plastic, um, like a thin thing of plastic. Um, so the parchment paper peeled off very easily, did not rip the parchment paper at all. And I think this is what I used the original time that I did it, was parchment paper. The deli paper, it ripped, as you see. It's got the paper stuck on the back. Here you can see some of it, but it was real easy to trim up. You just had to hold it, and then whichever bits of paper were sticking out, just peel, and it came off to where you can see your shape easily. Same with the wax paper. Like wherever you see wax, like there's some right there, you just had to take it and then peel it. Here's a nice piece right here, like that. See, and it just comes off. Oops. And because this is a soft glue, you can also trim it too. You can trim the glue. So, and then these two came off easily. The only thing is sometimes, as you see, they're kind of raised because you really had to pull on. Well, you can't see that they're kind of raised, I guess. I hold it this way. You can see it's kind of bowed because you kind of have to pull on it. And in some places where it got stuck on the glass or the plastic, I used a blade to kind of move it along before I pulled it so I wouldn't break it. So that's just how it is to start the process on whatever paper you have, what to expect. Okay, so parchment paper peeled off, no residue, no paper, no nothing. Deli paper stuck to it, wax paper stuck to it, but pretty easy to clean off. And then nothing, of course, if it's glass or plastic, nothing stuck, but you get this kind of a bowed look. Now, the next step I'm going to do is I made an extra one of these so that I can try to glue these on and see what kind of glue is best for us to use on this. So I'm going to do that next, just so that you guys are aware before you get started what to expect. So this is just gesso and paint, just like this. And I'm thinking, I remember I didn't have any problem gluing these down last time. I'm thinking if there's nothing underneath, you might have to use a different glue. I'm going to try glitter glue at first, and then if that doesn't work, then we'll try the 3-in-1. Okay. But I got to go to work right now, and I'll be right back after work, and we'll try this. Okay, everyone. So I glued down our pieces, and I'd have to say, okay, this one was the one that was on parchment paper. The regular glitter glue worked on this right away. On the deli paper and on the wax paper, it also worked. And actually on the deli paper one, you felt it hit. I mean, you felt it snug up right away. And I think it's because the paper was still on the backside. It wasn't smooth. And same with the wax paper. The wax paper was a little bit more where I had to hold it a few seconds longer, but it does stay on pretty good too. The ones that were on the like glass, ones that are like bent like this, those, the glitter glue did not work well on those at all. As you can see here, I had it here, and then I was able to just like right away just peel it back off because it wasn't sticking. And I think one, because of the shape, and it's harder to keep it going back down, you know, like it wants to keep this shape. So when you try to glue it, this keeps popping up like that. And two, because it's off of glass or off of smooth plastic, the backside is really smooth. So there's no grip. It worked on the parchment paper, but maybe because the parchment paper is not completely smooth or something. I don't know. But the parchment paper, because this is where I had it, it glued down fine. But also the parchment paper, the glue piece was straight. So there was no where you had to hold it down or anything like that. It just stayed. So that's our glue. So, but with the glass and the plastic, so if you have one of those glass mats and you just wanted to work off of that, it's still doable because I used the 3-in-1 and it stuck down fine. The only thing on that I would say is to be careful, because you do get, like, if it's too much, you get some of the shine. Though that you can usually clean off right away. I didn't because it was late at night. And so you can still see a little bit of shine even with the 3-in-1. So either way. But yeah, so that's our glue experiment. So glitter glue works pretty much on all of it except for the glass and plastic ones. And in that case, just use your 3-in-1 or your Fabrifix or something like that. All right, so we got their glues down. Now we are going to start making our pieces. So we're going to start the process. Get my book back out. And my parchment paper. So I'm going to use parchment paper. And like I said, normally I would do, like if I had a picture, I would do a frame like I did on the samples, examples that I showed you earlier in the video. But on this page itself, I think I'm just going to do like lines. So on mine, I'm just going to do lines. And because it's a soft glue and I can trim it, I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to do some lines and then I can cut and place them wherever I feel I need them. All right, but I am going to show you how to do a frame. But let me, I got my coffee over here sitting in my French press. So it is time to push down the lever and enjoy my coffee. But I'll be right back, I promise. Okay, so I have my glue gun heating up over here. Got my buttons, little poker tools, and I did watch the video, and she uses a pen like this, so that you can poke the end in and you get like this little hole thing. So that's pretty cool. And I had already done it once. That's why there's a piece of glue stuck in there. So our first step is take whatever substrate you're going to use. And let's say you're going to do a frame. All right. So you want to measure out the size of your frame. So you would just like draw your line and you want to make room. Make sure that you make it big enough that you're not going to cover up and, you know, like blobs and stuff. Because so like that, let's say that's going to be our frame, right? I don't know, you probably can't see the pencil mark, but it's there. Then you have all your tools ready, and you grab your glue, and just do like a little bit at a time because depending on how fast your glue dries up. So we're just going to do, let's just do the top of the frame here. So I'm going to try to do it at an angle so you can see. So you just go like that, and then just move it along. And you can do it in layers. So if it's not gloppy enough for you, just do another layer on top later after it dries, you know, after you put your stuff in there. So let's do that. And then we're going to take, oops, we're going to take and then the buttons you use is preferable if they're kind of like shaped like that. You don't want them sunken in because that might not work. So then you just press whatever you want in there. Let's do that. Let's do, let's try this flower. I'm not sure if it'll work, but let's try this flower over here. Let's see if we can get that imprint. Press that in, and then let's do the pen. That, and let's do a poker in there, like that. All right, so I'm just going to let this sit for a minute and let it cool down. And when I edit the film, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry, it's going to be like shadows and everything, but I'm just holding this up. It'll probably kind of stay, maybe, or it'll just take the whole sheet down. Hold on. I'll just hold it. And let's see. Still feels a little sticky. And just pull up. There we go. There we go. And it's hard to see the design right now. We won't see it until we paint it. There we go. And there we go. I don't know where this glop must have just came out of there while I was pressing down the button, but we'll leave it for now. We can always trim it off. I can see, I can't tell if that flower, oh, the flower is there. It's a little off though. So you just have to trust me on this because it is hard to see. All right, so then let's do another line. You can go zigzaggy if you want to. Okay. Let's see. Well, let's try this big flower. Let's try that down here. It probably won't. Oh, scheisse. Well, there goes that. All right, we'll just put it in here. This is just my sample for you guys anyway, so. All right, let's put you up here. And let's poke another hole in there. Okay. And I'm just going to do this one frame all the way through, just so you can see how it's done. And then I'm just going to do my lines, but I'll probably, oops, see, that's still sticky. It's kind of warm here today, so that's probably why it's taking a while for it to dry and cool down. Too bad we don't have a cool gun instead of just a heat gun. And today it's supposed to get up. California standards we're going through a heat wave, so it's going to be in the 90s. And looking at my Facebook memories, this must be historically the way the weather is in September, because about a year ago I was complaining about the heat. It was actually 101. And then a couple years before that, I was trying to paint and I couldn't finish my painting because it was too hot. Okay, this one I knew was probably going to be a mess because I shouldn't have stuck it on. Okay, so this is taking off the whole thing off the paper. Ugh, okay, that was my fault though, you guys. So don't do what I did and stick it in there after the fact. All right. I wonder if you refrigerate your buttons first, if that would help. Or if you keep them on something iced, keep them cool if you're in a hot area like me. All right, let's just clean that off. Sorry. May have to fast forward through this little piece, but in case I want to use that. And we'll fix that. I'll just trim it and then add glue to it. It's kind of good that that happens in case you guys come across any mishaps. All right, that one looks pretty cool. All right, so let's get our little scissors out. Let's trim this off. Since it is soft, we can still trim. There we go. And see what I mean about parchment paper? Comes right off. Okay. All right, so now we'll go ahead and continue on this, and we'll go around that way. And I wonder, since it is staying, seems to be staying hot, let's kind of go weird here. Let's just go all the way around and see what happens. I just won't have enough hands to hold up stuff, but okay. That should we try this flower button again? Let's try it again. We'll try it here. I'm not going to press it too hard. I'm just going to let it kind of drop. See, I kind of moved it. I'm hoping that doesn't mess up again. Oh, we tried that one already. Let's do this one in the corner. This is kind of nice. Let's try this one. Let's try this one here, or yeah, here. I wish I had more glue for that one. And let's do our pen here. And let's poke over here. And let's do a little pokey over here. So, and then you can even take like a sharp edge or something and then put little lines. Like I said, this is taking a while to cool down. So I'll just let that sit there for a minute before I take it up. And even when it's kind of drying like it is right now, you can still slice. Maybe just be careful you don't go all the way through, because then when you peel it up, it may rip. So I'm just kind of denting it. And we'll see once we paint it if that even does anything. You know, might not even do anything. Let's try it up here on this one. Pressing it pretty hard on there. I see a little dent. Whether it stays or it might bounce back into shape, I'm not sure. Okay, so let's take some of these out. So I put this one first. Oh, you know what? I'll wait in case that one gives us trouble. I need my free hands here, so let's try this one. All right, that worked. And what you see, the little black there, is just from the dirt that's inside these little buttons. But when you paint it, you're going to cover all that up anyway. All right, okay, poker tool came out. How about you? Oh, there's kind of stuck in there. Let's get you out. All right, you out. Yeah, I see little dots there. All right, here we go. Did you mess it up again for us, flower one? Maybe it's just the button, huh? Maybe the button has some kind of something on it. Doesn't want to unstick. All right, let's see. Come on. I see it. I see something down there. Shouldn't be this difficult, so just letting you know. All right, kind of see a little design, but it's kind of messed up a little bit, I think. All right, so here's our frame. All right, sorry if my head was in the way. Hopefully it wasn't, but I was just working on pulling up that button. Okay, so here's our frame. Let's trim that little fat piece off right here if we can. I mean, you could keep it if you have those, but all right, now if you wanted, you could do another layer and have like little thin strings and stuff. Let's see. Let's do it on part of it. Let's see how this would work. Let's start here. I'm just going to try to do it by the side so you can see. Let's see. I kind of don't want it too thick. Oh no. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm doing the thick part over here so I can just cut that off. Just have fun with it, you know. There's no mistakes on this because pretty much have control. I don't want to go over the flower in case it's there. All right, let's just leave it at that. Let's let that dry. And then like all these little ones off to the side, you can just take that off. Like these. Yeah. This over here, you can cut later. That glob right there. I like that little drop right there. It's like a raindrop right now, but once we paint it, it's all gonna look the same, I guess. All right, let's see. You might like that little piece, but I'm gonna just take it off for now. All right, so now in the video that we watched, if you watched it, she takes it off to paint it. I can't remember if I painted it and then took it off the parchment paper, to be honest. It was a while ago. Or if I took it off and then painted it. I really don't remember. So we'll do what she does and we'll just take it off just in case. In case you paint it and then all of a sudden it doesn't come off. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I think I painted it while it was on there because the first time I didn't really watch her video, so I was just doing it as I went myself. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to be careful so I don't bend it too bad. Doesn't want to come off today like it did before. Okay. There we go. All right, taking a little bit of the paper off with it. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind. Oh, come on. There we go. And that's, remember, this is where I messed up the first time, so probably I weakened the parchment paper at that point. Okay. Not bad. All right. And like I said, so when you have the paper here, You just hold it and just peel it like that on any of the paper, even if you do the deli paper or the wax paper. All right, it's making me a liar, but usually it just comes right off. This one doesn't want to come off. But you know what we do then? We cut it. All right, just cut it. It's on the back anyway. That doesn't matter. And if you want to trim your glue, just go like that. See? Very easy. All right, like these little pieces. Just trim that off. Trim that. I don't know if you guys can see because it's clear, but I'm just trimming off the little bits like that. Don't want to keep that? Let's keep it for now. Always trim it off later, but then you probably have to repaint it if you paint it first. All right, let's see. All these little pieces of glue floating around. All right, that's pretty good. We'll leave it like that. And let's paint it. All right, now your first layer, I'm going to use black gesso. You can use a dark brown. You can do whatever. You can paint it however you want. You can even paint it white and then go over it with a bright color like blue or teal or something like that. You know, you don't have to paint it the way we do. Not the way of the original video or my way, but because I want black, let's just say, pretend that I'm doing it for this, right? So I want black, and I'm going to use a red metallic paint over it. And you don't even have to do red metallic paint. You can, what am I doing? You can, like I said, you can paint it however you want, whatever colors you want. Your frame, your project. All right, so, but we'll do the initial painting, okay? Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think I did have it stuck to the paper while I painted it. And I'll probably do that with my lines, and we'll see if it makes it harder to peel off later. But I feel like I remember not having to hold down the frame while I painted it, you know what I mean? Like it was already stuck. All right, so get around the sides too. Don't forget the sides. And get in those little crevices. So your first paint color needs to cover everything. This is going to be the underlying paint color, so that when you put the wax on top, all the cracks and crevices will show black, and just the top layer, the top part of the frame, will show whatever color you decide to use. Okay, so let's let that dry. Should I dry it with the heat gun? No, I'm just going to let it air dry, just in case. I don't want to ruin it after all that pulling off the buttons and stuff. All right, so let's kind of move it so you can kind of see it a little bit better. All right, so that's it. Now it is just black. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put you on pause while it dries. Okay, I'm back. So, I mean, this took forever to dry, and I even did blast it a little bit with my heat gun because I have a dentist appointment I need to get to, and I want to hurry up and at least get this part done. But I didn't do it a lot because I don't want to make this like flimsy or melt more, you know what I mean? So it seems okay. I see some where I missed with the black, but that's okay. All right, so now you take your whatever top coat you're going to do. I'm going to do metallic red just because I want to see what it would look like against this. Actually, I'll just do one part metallic red, and we'll just do some other colors too, just to see, in case the metallic red doesn't come up very good. All right, so let's do a little bit of that. All right, so let's do metallic red over here at the bottom. All right, here we go. Right. Feel like might have to do 2 layers of that because it's kind of a translucent paint. It's not really opaque. And I kind of want to use a brush to get in to that flower in the corner there, this one. But I don't want to make it all red. I want some of that black to stay there. So I'm just going to leave it right now. It looks actually pretty cool. All right, let's try another color. Okay, so that's red. Again, may have to do a second coat. Let's see, let's just do a regular color. Say you wanted to do blue, right? Like this kind of blue. Let's try that, see what happens. And these are just acrylic gesso and then just acrylic paints, all right? Now this would be cool with a brown underneath, like a dark brown instead of the black. But it's got a good contrast still, right? I think that looks pretty cool. Slightly, lightly going in there because I don't want to cover up all the black. Just trying to get some of those details. But look at this. See that corner right there? Pretty cool. All right. So that's blue. Also, I would probably do another coat on that to make it more pop. You know what I mean? Because it looks like it's, you can see the black still coming through. All right, let's try a gold. The gold on the side. Nice, huh? That's pretty cool. Again, I would probably do a second coat or maybe tap, because you can see where I smeared it. You see, like, so maybe tap it a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then I guess silver we should do. Since we did gold, let's do silver. Whoop, sorry about that. Silver. I don't have a good silver. Let's try this one. Ooh, that sounds very liquidy. I want it to be a little bit thicker, so I don't accidentally get inside the details with it. And that's why I put it there first and smear it, so I don't have too much on my finger. But of course, I'm pretty sure you guys figured that out already. All right, so let's do that. Ooh, this feels kind of like a weird paint. Yeah, silver paint is kind of gloppy right now. A little bit around there. Ooh, let's see. We could even do like 2, 3 colors. That's pretty cool. 3 colors, it's an option. Like you could start with this color solid instead of the black and then put silver on top. And I feel like I should have put more silver so I could have got these pieces in here, but this is just to kind of show you guys how to do it. That's it. And then we would glue it. Ooh, I kind of like the gold actually versus the red. What do you think? Ugh, gosh, that's going to make it hard for me to decide now. Because the gold kind of ties in with this camel color, but pops a little bit more. But I do like the red too. It's subtle. I think I may go with the gold though. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do both. I'm going to do the red and the gold, some stripes, and then I'll figure it out as I go. All right, but I'm off to my dentist appointment first. Be back soon. Hello. I am surprised I managed to get this done because it is hot today. I have the fan blowing this way, so it does kind of make it hard to glue and try to get everything done before the fan dries everything up. But as you can see by my parchment paper, that I did paint my pieces while they were still stuck onto the paper, and they came up easily afterwards. So I do recommend you painting your piece, your frame, or your pieces like this before peeling them off. It's just less messy that way. Doesn't that make a cool scraps, like collage fodder or whatever? Okay, so that's that. So let me show you my page. And then as you can kind of tell, the colors I used were the red and the gold at first. That's how I started. All right, I did black, and then I did the red metallic, let that dry, and then I went over it with gold and let that dry. All right, so here's my page. Now, as you see, I didn't do much because I decided I liked the graphics here. And because I had so much going on with the words and the lettering and everything is so close together, I wasn't able to like fit pieces. Hold on, let me grab a piece. Let's say, let's grab like something like, hold on. All right. It was kind of hard to, you know what I mean? Like to, it would cover up the letters. Like, so I would have to like, okay, if I put it here, might be okay. And then it was just too busy. And I didn't want it to be too busy either. So I opted with just making a frame all the way around. And then after I had glued it down and I looked at this original frame, remember when we were testing the colors? I went over this, by the way, with metallic paints. I kind of liked the rainbowy look, or like, you know, like oil, when you have black oil and then you have a little bit of a shimmer with blues and greens and reds and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did with my frame. So it started off with the gold and the red, and then I just went over it with some green metallics and some blue metallics. And I'll probably go over it again because it's pretty light, and some silver. It's pretty light over here. So I'll do it again. And then if you accidentally like get your finger on your picture itself, I just grabbed a wet brush and cleaned the paint off really quick, like right away, so that I wouldn't have any paint left on there. But yeah, so, and I think if I didn't have all these words, I would have made my frame thicker, okay? And what I mean by that is, okay, you see how I have just these little like thin, I have like real thin here, right? Hold on, let me let that plane go by. Real thin right here. And then just the end pieces, thin, end piece, thin, you know, like that. But I do like the thicker, like this. See how thick it is? Like here. It's like a nice thick frame. And I think the paint shows up a lot better when it's thick like this also. So those are just some helpful hints for you guys. So whatever project you end up doing, keep that in mind. Like leave room to make your glue frame thicker and without covering up anything. Okay, so that is it. What do you think? I really like it. I like that I have little pieces sticking off the ends right here. Sorry, I have to keep lifting it up. I mean, I guess I could just zoom in, but like right here, how that's just sitting off the end. So that's kind of neat. I wish I would have done it more. But I didn't know what I was, you know, I didn't know how I was going to end up doing this. I thought I was going to have pieces going all through it. But I ended up just making a frame for the whole page instead. And I'm happy with it. Okay, so I can't wait to see what you guys do. Get your glue guns out and start making your little glue gun frames and pieces. I still have extra pieces. Let me show you what I got here. Look at these. I still have these that I made. Some really thin, simple ones that I was going to use around my picture of my face. That's what these were, but I ended up not using them. Had like a little cross. But yeah. So I don't know what I'll do with these, but I'm sure they'll end up somewhere in this journal or in another journal. All right, but thanks you guys for joining me today for Playday. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned anything or got inspired. I really like this. I'm gonna have to find a picture to put in there. I really do appreciate you guys being here and joining us. We have a few new patients in the asylum, so welcome. And like I said, I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. And then hopefully, since this video is already kind of long, hopefully on the next one, I can start including pictures again at the end to show what everybody else is doing if they don't have YouTube to show or whatever. But you can look at hashtag Asylum Journal or hashtag Creatively Insane. Now I'll put those hashtags here. And then you can see some of the other makes also. Okay? All right. Catch y'all on the next video. Tschüss.